What it do, Washington Commanders Nation? We are less than 2 months from the 2026 NFL Draft. The squad is going back to London for the first time in 10 years. Andrew Wylie is a Commander again. We heard from our GM. We heard from our head coach. We're speaking to prospects, and our fans are wilding per usual. And we got quarterback, coach, or not roulette. It's never boring in Washington land. Let's go. What it doing? What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest from the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about our Washington Commanders. The month of February is coming to a close, meaning NFL spring break is commenced in Indianapolis. When the combine is on, that's when all the chatty patties come out. It's when all the news and rumblings of the NFL offseason, all the conversations start here in Indianapolis. You know, when it comes to contracts being signed, players being traded, and everything from player reps to front offices, everything starts here in Indy. And for those college prospects that are there, the most important job interview in their entire lives. How are y'all doing on this Wednesday afternoon? How are y'all doing? It's been a minute since we spoke. There's always something to talk about when it comes to the Washington Commanders. So you know how erratically we ramble on this channel. We're going to just hop around at topics. We're going to hop around to all types of things when it comes to this team. But let's start first with, we're going to London. We know Washington was on the slate to get an international game this year. Y'all remember last time we went to London in 2016, 10 years ago, versus the Bengals, how fire of a game it is. What I say, fuck it, let's run it back. Let's run it back with the Bengals in London. Let's run it back. Joe Burrow versus Jaden Daniels in London. Let's do what we did 10 years ago. Let's have another overtime thriller, man. When I saw that we were going to London, I was like, it'll probably be the Jags, but the Jags are like the official team of London, so they'll be hosting their game in London. I wonder who our opponent's going to be. I imagine it's got to be someone from the AFC, so I think it's going to be the Bengals. Most of these international games have sorry matchups. Give them Burrow versus Jaden Daniels. Give them something to wake. Give us something over here at the States to wake up to 9:30 and actually be entertained by, man. Appreciate you. Tell Pointer 5034. Appreciate you for the super chat donation. Appreciate y'all for locking in. If y'all could do me a favor and smash that like button. But who do y'all think the opponent's going to be for our London game? Y'all are saying it's the Jags. It says we're away against the Jags. No, this is our home game. This is our home. Oh, you think we're going to do back-to-back? You think we're going to do back-to-back in London? Nah, I don't like that. Don't wish that evil on us. I don't think it's going to be we're hosting a game. So we don't have the Jags at home, right? We got the Jags on the road. It says Jacksonville. We're playing back-to-back because we play the Jags. Oh, shit. So we're going to Jacksonville on the road. I was not aware of such. I didn't see that. Where it say that at? Where it say that information at? It says Jacksonville. That's wild because I have not seen that information. I have not been privy to such yet. But does it actually say that? We're going to be in London for Kenny, stop this shenanigans. Why would you? Don't wish that on us. We go to London for a month. Nah, the Jags have back-to-back games in London, but we're hosting one. It's not Jacksonville. It's going to be somebody else. So look at our home opponents for this year. Cincinnati would be the best one. They're not going to put a divisional game. They're not going to put us versus Dallas, Philly, or New York on the road. I think it's going to be Cincy. I'm sticking with it. So we got the Colts, the Falcons, the Texans, the Rams, the Seahawks. They're not putting us versus Seattle in London. Maybe the Rams, the Texans. It's going to be one of the AFC teams. It's going to be one of the AFC teams in London, but I don't think it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, though. It's not going to be the Jags. The Jags are hosting. We have to host one. Season ticket holders in the chat. Since Washington is hosting a game in London, What does that do for fans with season tickets? Do they get some type of, not refund, but do they get some type of prorated deduction from their season ticket prices? What does that do? What does that do for season ticket holders? How does that work for y'all? Because I had season tickets for 3 years. We never played a game overseas. But anywho, just wanted to quickly brush through the London topic. We are playing in London. It's draft season. It is draft season. We heard from AP and DQ yesterday. What were the main takeaways that you got from AP and DQ's press conference? Because me personally, the DQ one, I say this every time I get on mic. Once you've seen a Dan Quinn press conference, you've seen every Dan Quinn press conference. I was more intrigued by hearing from Adam Peters. And what I took away from Adam Peters is he's keeping things close to the vest. I see people panicking because he said they haven't made a decision on Marshon Lattimore yet. I just don't see why Adam Peters needs to come to the podium to tell us that he's releasing Marshon Lattimore at the combine. That's not really the way that they do business here. I don't think Marshon's going to be here just because they didn't commit to releasing him at the combine. I see fans tweaking out over it. I see everybody losing their mind. Oh my God, they're bringing Marshon back. I don't think that's what that says. I don't think them not outwardly saying we're releasing him means that Marshon Lattimore is coming back. You know what I took away from these press conferences saying? Maybe Zach Ertz is somehow back because they felt the need to let us know about the recovery, which we saw online. Zach Ertz has been busting his ass. I wish him the speediest recoveries on someone else's roster. Love you, Zach Ertz. I'm cool. Bobby Wagner, I don't know. To me, Dan Quinn's press conference to me sounded like Bobby Wagner won't be returning. It sounds like Bobby Wagner will be returning to football on somebody else's roster. I don't know. I took away from Dan Quinn's presser that Bobby won't be back, but I could be wrong. We all take different things away from how these guys speak. What else did I take away from these press conferences? Brandon Aiyuk. Adam Peters didn't give us much, but he gave us a lot at the same time. That's his guy. Brandon Aiyuk is his guy. Just the way he smiled when they asked him and he hit him with the, Brandon's on another roster right now. I can't really speak on him. That boy, that's one of his draft crush players. That's a player that he helped draft. That's a player he's always going to believe in. Adam Peters is definitely interested in the business of Brandon Aiyuk. And according to John Lynch from the San Francisco 49ers in his interview from the combine, they will be dealing with the Aiyuk situation when the new league year starts. He said, do not expect any conclusion to such before the new league year starts. Adam Peters sounds very much interested, though. He didn't want to give too much, a little light on him on this, but he definitely gave me enough to feel like, yeah, that's his guy. He's not gonna waver from his belief in Brandon Aiyuk. What's going on, man? Yeah, it's been a minute. How you feeling, man? Thank you for locking in with your guy for 11 months on the channel. Miss y'all too. Dealing with some things, working through it. March is going to be a busy month. March, we should be back to regularly scheduled programming on the channel because we got free agency coming up, and boy, it's going to be wild. And as we draw closer to the draft, we're going to have some fun on the mock draft machines and shit like that. And as we're getting closer to the draft, I'm becoming more open-minded for what we do in the draft, man. I wish it could start today too. I definitely feel like Aiyuk is a part of our plans. Aiyuk is a part of our plan. You know who will not be a part of our plans? Kyle Pitts, Alec Pierce, and Breece Hall. Kyle Pitts has been hit with the franchise tag. Alec Pierce, if not able to get a contract done in the next week or so, he's going to be franchised. Breece Hall is going to be franchised. And to be perfectly honest, we were never going to drop that kind of bag on a free agency in the first place, on a free agent in the first place. But it's always fun going into these free agents off-season periods because, especially as a Washington fan, our fans think we're going to get everybody. Our fans think we're going to sign everybody, and it becomes a big fuck you fuck Adam Peters every time they don't. So I'm going into this offseason sitting back like that Kevin Hart meme. I'm going to see, because I don't know how this team's going to operate. I don't know what the game plan's going to be. I don't think it's going to be too different than we've saw them in the last couple years. I think it needs to be. I think the philosophy needs to be a little different, especially regarding getting, like Adam Peters mentioned it. He said they want to get longer. They want to get younger. They want to get more athletic. Show me then. Show me. Let's start new habits in 2026, man. New year, new us. New Year's resolution. Let's get some players coming off of rookie contracts that are still ascending. They can still be great. Our fans be tweaking out. I see people, let's sign Trent Williams if the Niners release him. What are we talking about? I think we lose the plot sometimes. Our fans, we lose the plot of this thing sometimes. Trent Williams had a $39 million cap hit, which is why the 49ers may end up releasing him. He's in the back couple years. He's probably got 2 years left in this league. We traded a second and a fourth, a third and a seventh for Laramie Tunsil last year. We owe Laramie Tunsil a big payday. Laramie Tunsil's going to get a big payday because that's the top 5 left tackle in this league. Josh Connerly was taken with the first round pick last year, and it didn't start great, but he looks like something to build upon going forward. Why the fuck would we get in the Trent Williams business, guys? As Washington fans, we got to sometimes look in the mirror like, what the fuck do we be talking about? What do we be talking? Why would we? I love Trent Williams. I love the Silverback. I will forever hate Bruce Allen and Dan Snyder for the way that his tenure ended here, because that's the best player that we drafted for real in my lifetime. That's like the only player I've ever watched us draft that's going to have a gold jacket one day, Trent Williams. And we pissed them away for a bag of potato chips. And I watched our GM tell the world that this man was out getting cosmetic surgeries when he was out here treating tumors, cancerous tumors. We did him so dirty. He would never step foot back into this organization. But we don't even have a need for what Trent Williams offers right now. We have our bookend tackle. I even seen somebody say something disrespectful on Twitter and said, what if we sign Trent Williams and kick him into left guard? Do y'all hear yourself sometimes, man? We're going to get one of the best, most athletic tackles ever and say, hey, come home and kick in the guard for a hometown ring. What do we be talking about? What does the fan base be fucking talking about sometimes, man? What do we be talking about? We definitely lose the plot. We definitely lose the plot in this shit sometimes, man. What up, C-Rob? What's good with you, man? Raise hell always. Be saying anything in these streets. But yeah, that's Trent Williams back to DC is not an option, guys. Trent Williams back to DC is not an option whatsoever. But I have no idea how Adam Peters is about to move. So I'm very curious, bro. We're going to be seated like we were last year. Y'all remember on the opening day of the tampering period, I think I went live for like 4 hours that day. As soon as the tampering period opened up, we hit live. We sat here and it was quiet for a little bit. And then we get our first buzz Adam Schefter notification. And fans hated that shit. It was Javon Kinlaw. That's how we opened up free agency. And everybody was crashing out because no one thought Kinlaw was going to get. No one thought Kinlaw was going to get $15 million on a 3-year contract. 3 is the magic number, by the way, with this team. This team has not shown the affinity to give someone a 4-year contract yet. The most we've seen with the Luvus, the Dorrance Armstrong, the Javon Kinlaw. So if they really love you, they offering you a 3-year contract. They come out the gates last year with Javon Kinlaw, and that crashing out came to a screeching halt when out of nowhere, with no rumblings, no inklings, no inclination that Washington was even interested in trading for a tackle. We trade for Laramie Tunsil in the waking 2 hours of free agency out of nowhere. Off the top rope goes Adam Peters. So those of us who think we have AP pegged is like we know what he is, what he's about. We know what he's about to do. I don't think any of us know because we come out of nowhere to do things. We come out of freaking nowhere. We all knew that there had to be interest with Deebo Samuel last year. That trade happened sooner than I thought it would. I believe that trade happened during the combine last year. I may be mistaken, but I have no idea what we're going to do. I have no idea what we're going to do, but I'm very curious. What up, Jared? Another issue with our fans is we get attached to names and go scorched earth on the organization. We don't get them. Yeah. That's most teams, though. That's how social media works. That's how fandom works. They go crazy over it. And there aren't too many most of the sexy names are going to get franchised, but it turns into a lot of nonsensical infighting about players that probably aren't going to play for this organization. But as far as the reports that Washington's going to make a splash, I think the splash comes in activity and not necessarily in the style or type of player we target in free agency. We have no choice but to sign a bunch of people. Shout out to Andrew Wylie. We brought him back on a 2-year deal for up to $10.5 million. We have our swing emergency depth guy, and if need be, he could come in there, plug in there, and start at left guard. I think Brandon Coleman gets the inside track to start at left guard, but that was a good signing. We were always going to bring back Andrew Wylie. I see people when we signed him like, oh my God, how could they sign him before they signed Laramie Tunsil? Like, guys, let's not be obtuse. Let's not be obtuse. Andrew Wylie's 2-year deal. You call up his agent. Hey, 2 years, 10.5. Great. We'll be there tomorrow. It's that simple. The Laramie Tunsil shit. Wow. I don't want it to be too complicated or drag on. It's obviously a much bigger. It holds more weight. Laramie Tunsil is a top 2 player on this team. They're going to get Laramie Tunsil done. But don't compare Andrew Wylie getting signed to Laramie Tunsil. There are a lot of Tress Way and Andrew Wylie's deals are easy to do. Another thing, I've seen some people on social media say, let's just franchise tag Laramie Tunsil right now. Laramie Tunsil is not a free agent right now. Laramie Tunsil has another year on his contract. You don't believe me? Listen to Adam Peters speak. He will remind you 100 times that Laramie Tunsil is still under contract for a season. There's no franchise tag option. There are no franchise tag worthy players on the Washington Commanders roster as we currently speak. Not a single one. I like Bain and Bailey, but the Jeremiah Love idea is fire. C-Rob for president. I appreciate you for doubling up, my guy. And here's my opinion on this. There are fans that are going to want to meet you in the streets and throw hands over even the idea of Jeremiah Love to DC because this team has so many. Oh, I don't know what the fuck just happened to my camera. 1 second. This team has so many holes to be worried about a running back, especially considering we have a good running back already. But 1 second, my camera just completely tweaked out. 1 second. Where the fuck did that shit go? Jeremiah Love is not your typical running back. Jeremiah Love is from that cloth of Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, where he's going to come in and immediately have an insane impact. He is a different type of prospect, and He's someone that everybody has to discuss. As this roster currently sits, I get it. We shouldn't be the type of team that can have a conversation about a running back in the first round of the NFL draft, but he's fucking tantalizing, though. He's the type of player you have a difficult conversation about. You have that type of conversation about Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love has that Christian McCaffrey trait where he's a whole fucking receiver and a back at the same time. He's a whole receiver and a back at the same time. He upgrades your receiver room and your running back room. Every time he touches the ball, he do that dumbass spin move, he could score. Every time he's on the field next to a player like Jaden Daniels, he is a threat to score. So I get it. I get it. And nobody's trying to hear that conversation. We're running a more traditional offense now. We're running a West Coast style offense and a running back, a balanced running game. This whole notion of marrying the pass game to the run game. A player like this makes that process a lot easier. I know nobody's trying to hear this shit though. This is not the team that should be discussing Jeremiah Love in the first round of the NFL draft. But I'm just saying, I get it. And we did meet with him today. So this is a perfect segue. This is a perfect segue. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with my camera right now. This is a perfect segue to this conversation, though, because we did meet with Jeremiah Love today. We're going to meet with a lot of players. Who you meet with, this it's not a tell of how your draft is going to go. But, of course, we met with Jeremiah Love. He's one of the best. He's a top 3 player in this draft class. Meeting with Jeremiah Love is not an indictment on Bill Krosky merit. Signing a potentially starting running back in free agency is not an indictment on Bill Krosky merit. This roster, I know we went to the NFC Championship in the 2024 season and struck magic in a bottle that year. This roster is not as close as any of us think it is to this team being like that. This team needs difference-making players. This team needs blue chip talent. This team needs stars. This team needs players that coordinators have to lose their mind over preparing, going against. And Jeremiah Love is a fucking headache. Like him compared to the rest of the running back class, it's not even there's no comparison to be made. There's no comparison to be made. Him and the rest of his peers. He has no peers in this draft class. It's Jeremiah Love, large gap, other football players. I think the gap between Love and his peers in this class is even bigger than Fernando Mendoza and the rest of the quarterback class. I know a lot of people are gonna probably say, "Oh yeah, you're wilding," but I don't think so. I don't think I'm wilding, man. I don't. But I get the conversation, and there's a conversation to be had here as we grow closer to the draft. I am not upset if they somehow go here. Also, while we're here on the Jeremiah Love topic, Jeremiah Love may be easily the best player on the board because we're picking 7th in the draft. There's a world where Arvell Reese, Ruben Bain, David Bailey, and potentially even Caleb Downs, even though as we grow closer to the draft, it feels like the NFL's doing what the NFL always does and says, yep, safety should not be drafted that high. There's a world where Caleb Downs falls out of the top 10. That's what at least everybody's talking about right now. Beggars can't be choosers at pick 7. We're the 7th pick of the draft. We're not the 3rd, 4th, or 5th pick of the draft. So you can wish, list, and hope that the player you love is there at 7. There's no guarantee of it, but it wouldn't surprise me if Jeremiah Love was on Washington's short list of players drafted at pick number 7. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But let the team do their due diligence, and I would get it. I wouldn't throw a fit over it. You've seen me have some very visceral reactions on draft day. Jeremiah Love is not a player that would bring out one of those classic Rio and group chat reactions where we just fucking hate the pick. What up, Garcelle? What up, my guy? What up, roast legend? Garcelle said, I just saw Cliff in London wearing sea breeze, grape yoga pants, and a comb over flint top fade with purple salt sandals. Tragic. Sea breeze grape. This guy's colors that he creates every time he roasts someone, that shit get me every time. Sea breeze grape yoga pants, a comb over flint top fade, and purple salt sandal. What's purple salt, Garcelle? What is this purple? Oh, and speaking of fades, hold up. I gotta. They got the prospects at the podium at the combine today, bro. We gotta definitely talk about. My camera said "fuck me" right now, so we're just gonna rock it out off cam. I'm kind of blind right now anyway, so I'm not mad at it. They got my boy Ruben Bain at the podium today. Let me pull up my boy Ruben Bain. Remember when I said Ruben Bain looked like Carl Winslow? He looks like a 90s sitcom dad and sheriff. Yo, look at my boy Bain. That boy gonna be elite. That is the face and hairline. He got the Wolverine hairline. That boy is about nothing but ball. I don't care how long his arms are. He's going to go crazy in the NFL. He is an absolute dog. Appreciate you, J Mill 843. Salute back to y'all. This is the face of somebody that offensive coordinators are going to have nightmares over. Look at this guy. Look at this guy, man. That's a killer. That's a killer right there. That boy breathes, sleeps, and eats football. He looks like he's going to get to the league and never spend any of his NFL money. He looked like he's going to put all his money under his mattress for a rainy day. That's a football player right there. That's a football player right there, boy. That is a football player if I've ever seen one. Everybody, if I don't know when they start measurements, but if they do while we're on stream, update me. He definitely looked like he was born in the wrong time period. But Ruben Bain's going to go earlier than most people. Well, Ruben Bain's going to go as early as they were talking about earlier in the college football season when they were talking about him potentially being the number 1 overall pick. I think Ruben Bain's going top 4, man. He got that James Pierce look, but he don't got the off-field concerns. Having the look and the mentality, but not moving like him, I'm with it. He looked like the cop from Snowfall. Nothing but football. That boy don't care about nothing but sacking quarterbacks and stopping the run game. Bain the type of person that looked old coming out the womb. Oh, yeah. Bain came out the womb paying utility bills, bro. This boy been getting out the mud. That boy came out the womb with a family that he needed to work for. That's a dog right there, man. That's a dog right there. Project Hail Mary is pure cinema. That's out? That movie's out? Or it's coming out? That movie's not out yet, right? That shit does look great. It looks very great. He looks like he shows up to fighting game tournaments with cargo shirts, like cargo shorts, the little button up with the flames on the bottom. He looked like he go crazy at Super Smash Brothers. He looks like he ain't never used a cheat code in his life. He just gets it out the mud and everything he does in life. Bain like that. Ruben Bain's gonna be a dog. Arm length. We're going to find out what his arm length is, and it's going to be the biggest conversation of the combine. Him, David Bailey, and Cassius Howe, because all of the top edges except Keldrick Faulk have a big knock about their measurables. And as we get closer to the draft, I think that Keldrick Faulk talk is going to shoot to the moon. Y'all ain't trying to hear it, but Keldrick Faulk is a realistic. Oh, let me give y'all an either or real quick. At pick 7, would y'all let me see it in the chat? Show of hands. Keldrick Faulk or Jeremiah Love? I know that he drank a fifth of Henny before the game. Hey, Santana and Sean and Clinton Portis used to do the same. But Keldrick Faulk is not everyone's cup of tea as an edge rusher. He's a solid all-around type guy. He's big as hell, run edge setting, run stopping type edge. Would y'all rather have Keldrick Faulk because he fits a need, or the best running back in the draft, playmaker, home run hitter, Jeremiah Love? I'm very curious to see how y'all feel about this. Love. What up, Uncle Jay? Love. Faulk is only 19 years old, bro. Is he really? Wait. That can't be right, can it? Is he 19 years old? That can't be right. So he came to college at 17? Keldrick Faulk has that size, though, bro. He's 20. Okay, he's 20 years old. He just turned 20 back in September. That's a young dude. And I think Keldrick Faulk looks like someone Dan Quinn would like for his defense. Thing is, it ain't Dan Quinn's defense no more. I do think he would fit here, too. He would be the Dallas Turner to this defense. Damn, nobody's saying Faulk. Nobody's saying Faulk. So with Keldrick Faulk, is it that his game isn't sexy? There's no sex appeal to it. He doesn't have as much bend coming off the edge. Nobody's rocking with Keldrick Faulk, bro. Nobody is rocking with Keldrick Faulk. I think Keldrick Faulk is definitely in play for the Commanders at 7, bro. That's why I'm curious to see what we do in free agency. So, next question I have for all of you. What would it take? What would it take in free agency to make you say, all right, Washington can do whatever with the 7th pick? Because our defense is atrocious. Our defense is abysmal. It is in a dire need for talent. What would it take for you to just say, fuck it, just take the best prospect available at 7? Fuck the defense. It don't got to be a defensive pick. Fuck it, give me Jeremiah Love. What would the haul need to look like in free agency for y'all to feel that? Because there are some good players available in free agency. I don't know if you crafting a whole starting defense based on what's available in free agency. I don't know, man. I think the more I've diagnosed what's available and Washington's needs and the lay of the land in the NFL, we need a lot, man. And most importantly, we need difference-making players. We can't just fill our roster with mid. We need some dogs. We need some difference makers. Hey, don't you be wishing that evil on us, man. Don't you be wishing that evil on us, man. I don't think Faulk would be the Forbes pick because Emmanuel Forbes was like 150 pounds soaking wet, and Christian Gonzalez was on the board. I don't think it would feel like that. I don't think it would feel like that. Me personally, I don't think it would feel like that. It would take a lot to make me feel like it would take us like drafting an offensive lineman here. Like I seen someone mock us Spencer Fano, and I was just like, why? My son want to say hi. What's good, man? What up, Cut Masters? Tell your boy I said, what's up, man? What's good with it? But it would take like, why would we draft an offensive lineman at 7 right now? That would piss me off. I don't know. There are not many picks that would make me feel like that Emmanuel Forbes made. And that's a good topic, by the way. What would make you feel like the Forbes pick a few years ago? It would have to be like jumping out the window and taking a player that nobody had going top 10, because nobody had Forbes going in the top 20 of the NFL draft. And Ron Rivera was out here making pre-recorded videos saying, Skylar Bell is a dog. I like Skylar Bell. I'm hoping it was more due to coaching, why our defense wasn't playing up to the level they should have been playing. Yeah, scheme definitely matters. Scheme definitely matters, and I think scheme played a large part in the why we were ridiculously ass on defense last year. Faulk is wise all over again. Would you take that at 7? I think he's young and he's ascending. He ascends to be higher than Dietrich Wise, but skill set wise, that's the type. That's the edge setter type. And the league is kind of trending more to these edge setter, run stopping type edges over the speed rushers. But I'm trying to think what pick would floor me and I would hate it at 7. I don't think I would hate the receivers. I don't think I would hate Kenyon Sadiq at 7. I don't think I would hate Jeremiah Love. I don't think I would hate a good amount of defensive players. I wouldn't hate Peter Woods, even though I don't think that should be the pick. I don't want Keldrick Faulk at 7. I wouldn't hate that shit. I'm trying to think of what would Mansour Delane I would be cool with. There's not many things I would. Oh, us drafting offensive linemen, that I would despise that shit, and I'd be calling for AP's head as our GM. I would be wilding. Remember, once upon a time, we traded up for a long snapper that forgot how to long snap. Good times, right? Good times. Now I'm in a draft mood. Let's see how the board works and shit. Let me pull up this mock draft simulator, man. Let's have some fun today. Let's have some fun on this Wednesday afternoon. Smash that like button for those of you just pulling up right now. We just on here yapping and talking Washington Commanders offseason draft, etc. All of that good stuff. All of that good stuff. Let me see. There's not many things that I would just outright despise from this draft us doing, because I like where we are at pick 7. You know, I would have liked it more if we were the 5th pick and not the 7th pick, but I like where we are right now at the 7th spot. We have options. We have lots of options, and I don't think it's as cut and dry as it has to be a defensive player, because we need a lot of shit here. We need a lot of shit on this team right now, and beggars cannot be choosers. I would love Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles was a former safety, and he looks like it. Nothing about that 6'4" specimen looks like an NFL linebacker. He's a fucking dog. I would love to have Sonny Styles at pick 7. I would not be mad at that shit at all. And I'm very interested in what we're doing at linebacker, because with what are we doing with Bobby? What the hell is Luvu's role going to be in this new system? All of that. So let's play with this mock draft shit real quick, and let's let the board speak to us. Let's put our minds together and let's let the board speak to us a little bit. Let me center this. Get some of this ad shit out the way and let's do some mock drafts. Let's see. Because I feel like maybe we need to do this exercise so we can know what would we outright fucking hate in the draft. So let's see how the board speaks to us. Oh, I didn't mean that. Nope. Let me go back. I like to use the PFF board, but I like to use this simulator. I like the Pro Football Network simulator because I'm not paying for no account with PFF. They got me fucked up. I'm not doing all that. I like to put it on the PFF board, though, because I feel like the PFF's board is the most realistic when it comes to doing this shit. Are they not going to let me change the amount of rounds I'm trying to do? What we doing, man? What we doing, bro? 1 second. What are we doing? Let me pick the damn. There we go. Put it on normal so you can see the picks being made. That's just not going at hyper speed. All right. Let's get it. Let's put our AP hats on and let's get the drafting. So let's see what happens before Washington at pick 7. Okay. Very realistic. This is a realistic start to the draft. And I love how it played out because it bleeds into what I was talking about a little bit earlier on stream. Oh, I don't even have this shit up right now. I'm wilding. My bad. I don't even have this shit up right now. My bad. I thought y'all was looking at this shit too. Hold up. So this is how the first 6 picks just played out in this mock draft that I'm doing right now. The Raiders took Fernando Mendoza. That is the league's worst kept secret. They are going to take Fernando Mendoza with the first pick of the draft. Don't overthink it. I see people trying to get cute saying, man, what if they just took Malik Willis? No. Fuck no. You take Fernando Mendoza. Also, side note, quick tangent, love Malik Willis. Love this ascension for him. Malik Willis should not be the number 1 free agent. He should not be the number 1 most coveted free agent. And I think there should be a little bit of buyers beware that goes into him. I want to see that brother get paid. I want to see him cash out. I want to see him have a chance to ascend and flourish in this league. But I think putting him as the number 1 free agency is putting insane expectations. And I think that is a big cause for a letdown when one of these shit teams gets Malik Willis and have a horrible environment around him. But good luck to everybody saying do that, though. Glad we're not in that market. Mendoza at 1, Ruben Bain at number 2. I could see Ruben Bain going number 2 to the Jets. Arvell Reese number 3, and Arvell Reese at the combine today, he said, I'm an outside linebacker and an edge. And I think he is a great chess piece. If the right coordinator gets their hands on him, he could be potentially the best player in this draft. Jordan Tyson looks like a superstar, moves like a superstar. Absolutely phenomenal tape. Niggas played in half of the games that he's been available for in college. That guy's injury history is terrifying. He's missed half of the games he'd been slated to play in college, but he could be an absolute star in this league. Carnell Tate pairing with Malik Neighbors in New York. I get it. David Bailey to go opposite Myles Garrett for the Cleveland Browns. So very realistic looking board here for the Commanders at pick 7. Chat, talk to me. Talk to me, chat. What do you see? Yeah, that's hey, shout out to Malik Willis, but that's terrifying, bro. That's terrifying. We need a kicker. All right, so Caleb Downs is what I expect everybody to be saying right now. Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love. Who is the pick going to be? Caleb Downs. Who did we get in free agency? That's a great question, because that would probably determine what we're doing here. But if they took Jeremiah Love here, what is you guys' reaction? What is your draft day reaction? How are you pulling up to the chat? How are you in the room with your peoples watching the draft? How would you feel if it's Jeremiah Love? I think there's a conversation to be had here. I think Caleb Downs would be the pick for this team, but there's a conversation to be had here between Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, and Caleb Downs. You already know how prospect fatigue works. We knew what was coming once the draft process started when it comes to Caleb Downs. They do it every year when a prospect is boring because all that anyone has is to say good things about them. They start finding ways to pick into it. Caleb Downs is like that. Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, or Jeremiah Love here, y'all. We better have signed a bunch of defensive player. That's how I would hope it would be if we were to take a Jeremiah Love. I just don't think we're the team for him. I think there's a potential that a good enough team could come trading up for a Jeremiah Love. I think Caleb Downs is the pick here. I think Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, and Sonny Styles, they all add more than one thing to this team, and we need guys that, I don't mean to say position flex like Ron used to. We need guys that can fill more than one need. Caleb Downs is a nickel player, is a safety player. Bring him down in the box, chest piece. Sonny Styles, best coverage linebacker out there. Athletic, used to be a safety, can cover and play the run, has improved dramatically from 2024 to 2025. He went from like 17 missed tackles to like 2 in 2025. There's a conversation to be had here. Who's playing linebacker for this team in 2026? So it's going to be one of the Buckeyes. I'm going to pick Styles or Caleb Downs here. Who has a bigger impact long term on this team? Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles? Because I think it's close. I think it's very close. I think it's very close, man. I don't give a damn as long as it's a blue chip player. There we go. I feel that. I feel that shit. Jacob Rodriguez for sure. Oh yeah, that sheriff looking bastard's a dog. He's going to probably go on day 2 of the draft, but he's like that. All right, let's pick Caleb Downs here. This feels, it feels very Caleb Downs. Let's go for it. We got some. I don't see any. They be offering some fake ass. They be offering some fake ass trade value on here. Like that looks beautiful. They're not offering this shit in real life though. They're not doing that. Let's take Caleb Downs here. Let's see how the rest of the round plays out. Love went number 8 to the Saints. Makai Lemon to the Chiefs. My boy Cassius Howe went to, and that's someone that I probably needed to discuss at 7 too, because I love Cassius Howe. That bend off the edge. They're gonna say he's undersized. Him and Bailey, they're gonna be picked apart for their measurables. Cassius Howe could be a really good edge in this league. Francis Mauanoa went to the Dolphins. Mansour Delane, Sonny Styles to the Rams. Mansour Delane to the Cowboys. I like it. Hold on, let me scroll up a little bit. Let's see some of what we just missed. So, Mansour Delane to Dallas. Sonny Styles to the Rams. Jermod McCoy to the Ravens. That's just a Ravens ass. Everything the Ravens do look right. Keldrick Faulk in the range where I think he should be taken, 15 to the Bucks. Caden McDonald to the Jets. Caden McDonald, that's a nose right there. That's a nose tackle right there. Jacob Rodriguez looked like my type of linebacker, though. I'm not going to lie. Not in the first round, but he looked like my type of linebacker for real, man. But I think we did good, and we went best player available in the first round. This is when the draft starts to piss me off because I'm very happy that we got Laramie Tunzel. I'm very happy that we don't have to think about left tackle for quite some time. But that shit gets so not fun when you get to this point right here. Like my boy Dylan Theinman just went to the Jets in the second round. Love the safeties available after Caleb Downs. That's why I would be willing to go a different position in the first round because I like the safety from LSU. I like Dylan Theinman. I like Kamari Ramsey. I like the kid from Indiana. There's a bunch of safeties in the class, but This is when mock drafts start to piss me off because we don't have a second round pick. And as a Washington fan, as a Washington fan, we probably shouldn't want second round picks. We have some of the worst history in the second round, and it's like a 20-year sample size of us doing bullshit in the second round. But I hate not having one for the sake of shit like this, because that wait after we make our first round pick to pick 71, it's going to be a long time. We're going to be waiting. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is going to go in the first round, the safety from Toledo. So I don't know if I agree about this, but let's see what's out there. We went Caleb Downs in the first round. I'm not pigeonholing what my next pick is going to be, but I would like a good edge, a good wide receiver, a good value position here with this third round pick, because this is probably our most important pick of the draft. The first round, it's going to be something easy. Like, it's going to be an easy decision what we do in the first round. What we do here at 71 will dictate how people feel about this draft, because we don't have picks for days. We got 6 picks and we do not have a pick in the second and the fourth round. So it's very important what we do. Omar Cooper is not going to fucking be here. I will stand on that. I've been saying it through the whole draft process. Omar Cooper is a first rounder. At latest, he's going early second round. Jacob Rodriguez looks like he says slurs is crazy, man. Love and build, but with the quarterback would be insane. Let's see what's available here at pick 71. I'm going to pretend like Omar Cooper Jr. is not here. Lee Hunter, the big defensive tackle out of Texas Tech, he's like that. Dalen Everett out of Georgia. I know Rico, my boy Street Scores, will be all over that. Skylar Bell from UConn. That intrigues me. Zachariah Branch. I think Zachariah Branch goes somewhere in the second round. I think the pushback for Zachariah Branch would be, we already have Jalen Lane. Him and Jalen Lane are very different prospects as wide receivers. Zachariah Branch gets busy at the wide receiver position. Jalen Lane is a great returner. Obviously, he could become more than that. Jacob Rodriguez. I like Jacob Rodriguez at 71. I can get jiggy with Jacob Rodriguez at 71. Omar Cooper, I'm going to act like he's not going to be there because I think Omar Cooper is going in the first round. Y'all said y'all said Delp from Georgia. Omar Cooper. Lee Hunter. See, what we can't do is be like, it has to be an edge right now, but not loving what I'm seeing. Jay-Sean Barham out of Michigan. Yeah, I'm not going to make this harder than it. Oh, I like Bud Clark, the safety out of TCU, but we took a safety in the first round. I think what I would do here is, where's a good old, let's take Jacob Rodriguez and his 80s porn stash here. The defense, all of a sudden, Jacob Rodriguez forced like 14 turnovers last year. So I think with the addition of Jacob Rodriguez, I know he's a smaller backer. I know his size scares some people and say, oh, maybe he's a safety. Oh, we took Kane Madrano last year. There's a difference between Kane Madrano and Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez was low-key the best player in the country this year. I thought he could have won the Heisman. He was like that. Like, as good as that Texas Tech defense was, Jacob Rodriguez, that's a sideline to sideline and turnover forcing. He forced like 10 fumbles last year. I need somebody who could flip the field. I don't have this unfair expectation that our defense is somehow going to be elite next year, but I want to take good play. They say just take Cooper for the F of it. If we missed on Bain, it's no point of going edge now. Like, don't take a edge, period, because we didn't get Bain. I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. But as we wait for our next pick in this mock draft simulator, you can now pick team picks on Sleeper. Rio 91 on Sleeper, best fantasy app in the business. Football season's over, but college basketball and the NBA is just now getting ramped up. Please use promo code Rio 91 on Sleeper.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code RIO91. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Shout out to Big Sleeper as the Sleeper campaign is finishing up. But I don't even like to do too many mock drafts. Like, I think I'm only going to do like one on stream full 7th round mock this cycle, because I like to just talk about these first 3 rounds, because that's where it gets so tricky on these mock drafts after you get out of the first 3 rounds, because you just never know how any of this shit is going to go. But I see Harold Perkins, I see Ted Hurst, and I see some interesting players on this board right now. Jacoby Lane. What do y'all feel about Jacoby Lane? It looks like the league is kind of not caring as much about the big receiver anymore. But Ted Hurst, Jacoby Lane, Harold Perkins. Would y'all mind going defense in this class? So we went Caleb Downs and we went Jacob Rodriguez. Big for nothing. We just went linebacker last round. I don't think Perkins is going to last this long. Kyle Louise. Hey man, Ted Hurst. I know my boy Street Scores would be all for it. And he went crazy at the Senior Bowl. Let's see what's out there. Quintavious Hutchins. Don't we have a Quintavious on the? No, we have a Quantrez. My bad. Oscar Delp, y'all Georgia boy. How about it? Y'all gonna pair him with Tyler Conklin and Ben Sinnott and company? Oh, let's have a conversation about I'm about to start this draft shit over in a second, by the way. I'm going to take Ted Hurst here. I'm taking a receiver. I'm not taking Jacoby. Jacoby Lane don't really do it for me. He's kind of stiff to me. It's not my cup of tea. But we're about to start this shit over in a second. But what do y'all think that we realistically do at tight end? Put your fan opinion in who you want to decide for a second real quick. What do y'all think this team is realistically going to do at tight end? Because they slowly trying to walk us back into the Zach Ertz conversation, and they're trying to talk up Ben Sinnott. What do y'all not what you would do? What do y'all think this team is going to do at the tight end position in 2026? Who do y'all think is going to be? I would love Kate Otten. I think it's going to be someone that could start for us, but it's going to be underwhelming. I'm going to stop saying Tyler Conklin because I'm about to get jumped on Twitter for saying Tyler Conklin to the Commanders. But yeah, Austin Hooper, Greg Dulcich, something like that is probably going to be what we do. Sinnott may end up being tight end 1, or likely will be here. I hope if we do actually get aggressive at a position, it is the tight end position. Please, Adam Peters. Please get aggressive at this position. Jaden loves throwing the tight ends. The style of offense that we're playing now. Oh, this one, I would turn the card in so fast for Arvell Reese. But we need to get a starting tight end, man. We need to get a starting tight end. I'm not saying Ben Sinnott can't be a starting tight end, but what I'm saying through 2 years, it does not seem like they view him as such in the building. And some of the turmoil from the front office to the coaching staff and Cliff Kingsbury may have been not playing Ben Sinnott, but Ben Sinnott may be a fullback. He may have his hand in the dirt in I formation in front of Bill Krosky Merritt, or dare I say Jeremiah Love or Rashad White or whoever it's going to be. But y'all told me he's Kyle Juszczyk. Show me he's Kyle Juszczyk, because Kyle Juszczyk the best in the business at what he does. Otten looks like a Commander's tight end. I'm with it. Noah Fant or something, like something that wouldn't really move me. And Njoku or Ertz. Cliff, you will pay for what you did. But what if Cliff didn't do anything? What if Bilal don't even sound that intrigued with Ben Sinnott? But back to mock draft territory. Is there any situation? Okay, Jeremiah Love, I would understand. Is there any situation where you could be talked into taking Kenyon Sadiq in the first round? For me, I like Kenyon Sadiq. That's a pass for me. I think offensively, it's got to be Love or whoever we deem is the best receiver in the class. Those are the only offensive weapons I think I would consider at 7. I don't think Kenyon, even though I think Kenyon Sadiq is like that, I don't see any world where that would be discussed as the first round pick. I don't know. Me personally, I don't see it. Likely give him a 3-year deal. You know, we love 3-year deals. If we love a player, they get a 3-year contract, man. Likely or Otten. Chigo Okonkwo from Tennessee would love to have him. Bring me to Terrapin. But I'm just going to assume, based off what I've seen Adam Peters do, it's going to be something that nobody expects. Like Dallas Goedert, Austin Hooper, Noah Fant, Greg Dulcich. It's probably going to be a name that none of us want at that spot. But we will see. Very easy pick to make in this one. It's Arvell. I think Arvell Reese is the most perfect prospect in this Durante Jones, which is Brian Flores defensive scheme. A scheme that thrives in players that you don't know if you're sending them or if you're dropping them in the coverage. We haven't seen the best of Arvell Reese yet. He may have the highest ceiling in this entire class, and that felt like an easy one. Now, right here with this second pick, I'm not going to lie, the name that is screaming at me to select is Michael Trigg out of Baylor. And they're going to say, oh, Michael Trigg isn't the greatest blocker. That's a great thing for me, because we got multiple tight ends on this roster that could block their ass off. Michael Trigg and Brazil are what I'm looking at right here. I'm getting one of these offensive weapons. Brazil, another big but extremely athletic wide receiver. But Michael Trigg, depending on what we did in free agency, that joint is screaming to me right now. Anthony Hill Jr., if I didn't take Arvell Reese in the first round because he's like that, I think Anthony Hill Jr. is going in the second round, though. I don't see him lasting this long. Skylar Bell, love him. Would gladly take him with this pick. Danny Dennis Sutton, if you want to go edge, because Arvell is a tweener. Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame, Golden Domer. I know me personally, I'd be wanting to go Michael Trigg here. Michael Trigg or Brazil. Brazil tough. We don't need to, okay, yes. The tight end has to have some ability to block, but we need a pass catcher. We need a receiving threat tight end. Hill Jr. is like that. I'm going to do the same thing I did with Hill Jr. as Omar Cooper. He's not going to be there at 71, bro. He's not going to be there. Brazil tough, though, man. I'm going to assume these niggas got a tight end in free agency, and we got a bunch of mid at receiver. Hey, they say the big receiver's dying. Fuck it. Chris Brazell, you are a Washington Commander. You are a Washington Commander at this point. Let me go up to my picks real quick. Let's see what we've done through the first two. Arvell Reese and Chris Brazell. I like it. I like it, Chris Brazell. I like it so far. I don't see why Jalen Kilgore would still be on the board, but that's one of those easy picks for me at this point. He's a dog. Them South Carolina boys on defense. I didn't get my South Carolina boy last year. I'm still hurting over not getting Emanwari, bro. I think Josh Connerly is going to be a fine pro. He's going to be fine on that right side. But man, I wish we had Nick Emanwari. Having Nick Emanwari and not saying Emanwari would be what he is in Seattle over here, but we would be able to sleep at night drafting another position in the first round if we already had us a Ferrari in the fold like Nick Emanwari. Ferrari Emanwari, bro. He's like that. Hopefully we have the type of defensive coordinator now in scheme that could produce a demon like that. But I'm going to start this over. We're going to do one more of these. We're going to do one more of these. What y'all think we doing with Bobby Wagner? Not what you would do. What y'all think we doing with Bobby? Y'all think we letting Bobby go and to find greener pastures, or do y'all think that Jaden Bobby dynamic and what he means to this team, they're going to bring him back to start with us for another season? What are we doing with Bobby Wagner, y'all? What y'all think we doing with Bobby? 3-year deal for Bobby? Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. I would personally let Bobby find greener pastures and go chase that record. If we could talk Bobby into a lesser role, I'd be with it. I don't want Bobby on the field full time at this point because it leaves our defense susceptible to get burned on. Teams target going after Bobby. But he's still so tough. He's too tough to keep off the field. That's why I don't want him back. Who wouldn't want a Bobby Wagner in your fucking locker room, especially to mentor younger guys? He's one of the greatest that we've seen do it. But he's too good to keep off the field. He's also too big of a liability. And that catch-22 is why we got to let him walk, bro. Let him go. I think they're going to bring him back in some capacity. I wish it was with a headset and a playbook, but motherfucker had 160 tackles and almost 5 sacks, a couple turnovers. He's still too productive a football player to keep off the field, and that's why I don't want him back, because they got to start him. They got to start him. You can't have Bobby Wagner fully dressed on the sideline. And that's why they got to keep it pushing with him, man. Me personally, I'm letting Bobby Wagner walk. You got to make tough decisions sometime, and I know that's going to be tough for morale and shit, but I'm letting Bobby Wagner walk personally.
I've been looking to find the best deal on Washington Commanders tickets for the 2025 season, which is why I want to give the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sporting events, festivals, and more. The NFL is right around the corner, and MLB is in full swing. I love using SeatGeek. Recently used it, lock in my training camp tickets. Most notably, I was at the Grand National Tour with my son, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 through 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you know I had to come through for y'all using promo code RIO10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code RIO10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically sent to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring this video.
Okay, let's do one more of these. Let's do one more of these, and I think we do the nuclear option this time. We're gonna do the shit that would piss off a lot of the fan base, but would also like ignite a lot of the fan base. We're gonna take the nuclear option this time. We're taking Jeremiah Love at 7. We're gonna take Love at 7, and we're gonna see what residual effects this has on the draft and the board. We're taking Jeremiah Love, meaning that the next pick has to 100,000% be a defensive pick. Jeremiah Love, you are a Washington Commander, man, because there are more to playing. There's more to linebacker than tackles. And I know this sounds crazy. There are people there are people we could sign, plug and play there that could get as many tackles, that could also cover. Bobby Wagner is still good, but you can't look at his tackles and still think that that's an all-pro linebacker, because there are literally teams targeting getting Bobby Wagner isolated in space. But it's more than tackles. You're supposed to get tackles as a linebacker. It's about more than that. But we took Jeremiah Love with the first pick in this one. We went with the nuclear option here. Adam Peters knocked it out at the park in free agency, and they fell in love with Jeremiah Love. Rhythm with the tism, all that good stuff. He's about to go crazy. That's our running back now. We have a running back duo of Bill and Jeremiah Love. Where are we going with this next pick? Lee Hunter? That interests me here. Lee Hunter intrigues me here. Rodriguez, Dennis Sutton. Wheatley, the safety out of Penn State. Let me see. Drazon Stribling from Ole Miss. Bud Clark, safety out of TCU. It's got to be a defensive player. Now, there's definitely a couple offensive players that are definitely calling my name here, but I think we would have to go defense at this point. But if we're drafting Jeremiah Love in the first round, you definitely going to, my guy, man, right back at you. Hope you and the family are well. We need a Pacific Islander. Oh, man. Payne's going to be here for the foreseeable future, but I wouldn't be mad at Lee Hunter, man. I wouldn't be mad at Lee Hunter at all, man. That's a big boy. Old-ass rookie, but I don't think they're afraid of that. I think we like them older here. I think that's kind of how we get down over here. God, that would just make the draft feel so. I like Dalen Everett too. Cornerback is a position I have no idea how we're going to attack it. Are we going to sign a starter in free agency to go opposite Trey Amos? What are we doing on the outside at corner? Because I would take Everett here. I would take Everett or Hunter. I think Hunter's the choice too, because Payne's out of here after the season. Contract year, Payne. He's going to turn up. I mean, we said this shit last year, even though it wasn't a contract year. It didn't happen, but it would be very interesting. So we did 3 different variations of a mock draft, just messing around in the simulator today. And with one, we got Arvell Reese. With one, we got Caleb Downs. With one, we got Jeremiah Love. The Love one, I consider the nuclear option because I think fans would be ready to march on Ashburn if Peters if Peters took a running back in the first round, because we see so many holes on this team, especially on the defensive side. But some talents are just too tantalizing to pass up. And I think Jeremiah Love does fit that. He affects your pass game and your run game. He makes your life very simple for Jaden Daniels, and he puts defenses at a predicament when he's out on the field with Jaden Daniels. And he's a player that every defensive coordinator has to stay up at night to try to stop. And we have a really good offensive line already. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. But he's considered the nuclear option. I'm going to get out of here right now. I believe Commanders Kings, we're going to be going live tonight or tomorrow night, one of the two. And we're going to do what we did last week, but on the defensive side of the ball now. We're going to talk combine. We're going to talk who we're looking to see at the combine. And I will have some more streams out for y'all this week. This will not be the last time you hear from me. And in March, we're back to doing this shit regularly. And we're going to do free agency in the draft like we always do on the channel. Appreciate y'all for locking in with your boy. Hell to the Washington Commanders, unless some big news breaks. I'm out of here for right now. See you when the Commanders Kings go live. Kenny said he needs us tonight. I'll go converse with the fellas to see if we're doing that. Talk soon. Hell to the Washington Commanders. Let's get active, man. Take care, everybody.